Good afternoon. It is September 10th, 2025, and here's what we have today. The market opened somewhere around here yesterday, uh, and we continued the uptrend. Let's see, what time? We're looking for 15. Okay, so right here you can see we gapped up just a little bit, pulled back to the EMA, had a tight bull channel, sold off to the bottom, and then just had a huge move. Not sure what that was about. And all I did was I actually drew this to the bottom of this move because I thought that's where the market opened. But if you draw it to here, I think it's still, it still tells us a lot. It actually tells us why we bounced right here. So the reason I drew it like this was because it made it look like we were bouncing here at the 50% mark, here again and here again. But you don't really need all that. So yeah, we had this huge move in the overnight, kind of went sideways inside that, attempted a new high. You can see that triple top. Then we formed a bear channel, rally, and move to a new low. Second move to a new low. You can see now the EMA is holding prices below, and we form this like triangle. We break out to the low side, can't break above the EMA, and go a little bit lower, and then boom, we finally got a gap above the EMA. So, that might be a sign that this is the last push down, and it is pretty much. You can see, and then it bounced. So, I think that was a decent area to get a limit order, especially because this is this is the candle for today. We were at the bottom of it. And so, if you're expecting a range day or a doji day, then it's a terrific place to buy with a target of, I think the open of the candle was 6533. So that's a nice 7 point move, and it went a little bit further to 42. So actually much further. And really, I think why it went to 42 was because it was trying to hit the top of this triangle. Because I was buying in here hoping to get a test of the triangle, and it didn't make it. I was buying early. I bought before we had a gap above the EMA. So here we have a gap above the EMA. It makes a new low. Maybe you get this double bottom. Boom. That's a great move. So anyway, I'm guessing this was a news item. Yeah, 5:30. I'm not sure what that was. So you want to sit tight for a little bit after that. Maybe, you know, after it sells off, draw a range around that. Um, I think is very reasonable. And so you can see support down here. We make this double bottom. The overall bias is up. So I think a higher low here is not a bad idea. Maybe you're trying to test these highs. That ends up being a good move. I don't think you want to buy or sell anything in here. It just doesn't look that good. It doesn't really look like it's clear where prices are going or what they're trying to do. So here you could buy with a scalp target of up here or a swing target of these highs or this high. You can see we make a triple top, and boom, that's all she wrote. Get this bull channel on here. Yeah, so you get a break. That looks like a new high, and then double top, boom, we sell off. Now we're below the EMA. You get this second entry short, but with the bias being up, that's a strong bull bar. I would wait. It stalls. You get another bull bar, and that fails. I don't, I don't. Based on my chart, I don't like this. We're in the middle of a range, but it ends up being a good move. And this is a nice little bear channel you got here. I don't think you can take this either, but it is kind of a weak pullback. You can see, you get some dojis in between these bull bars, so not a strong bull pullback, but we're at the bottom of the range, and indeed it bounces here. So I think it's reasonable to, I was going to say reasonable to buy with limit orders, but we have this bear channel, so I don't think you can. But anyway, we get a rally, boom, move to a new low. Now I think it's reasonable to be buying with limit orders here. We have a break of this channel. We have price action above the EMA. We have what looks kind of like a micro double bottom here, and paired with here, and that confirms this level of support. So I think it's reasonable to buy with a limit order here. Uh, you get this move down. I don't think you can get in on it. Actually, maybe you could. That's a strong bear bar. Maybe you can take that. And again, you can buy with a limit order here, but this time you're gonna have to get out quick. You might even get out with a loss if you enter on a stop order here when it starts going sideways. And yeah, we break out, and I think even though this is a doji, when prices fail to go above the EMA, that's a second entry short. I think you can take that, and it doesn't go very far before pulling back and then making the final move. And again, I think you can buy with limit orders here. If you are seeing everything I was seeing, which is that it looks more like a range day. One, two, we had this triangle breakout. Uh, Now we have a gap above the EMA. What else was I seeing? If you look here in this bear trend, the strongest bar, this to me looked like a sell climax, but we don't have prices above the EMA yet. Then you get this bar, and then this bar, and then this bar. You could argue this sell climax, this bar, this is the biggest bar. I'm quite sure that's a 4-point bar. Okay, this is a 4-point bar. So we're getting the biggest bars in the bear trend. And it just doesn't look like it's um uh, going to be a measuring gap. Al Brooks talks about measuring gaps and exhaustion gaps. This looks more like exhaustion, bear exhaustion. We now have prices above the EMA here and here. So I like buying with a limit order here to test 6,533, which was the open of the day, or the top of this triangle. So that's one last look at it. Let's see. One last look at the day. Here's the daily chart. Here's the weekly chart and the monthly chart. So I hope everyone had a good day. I will be back tomorrow.